Tuvalu, please.
Thank you, Madam President, and thank you for allowing me to take the floor. Over the last couple of days, we've heard lots of interest in this agenda item. There have been lots of discussions about how to proceed with this process, and there have been lots of media interest in this agenda item. In some media, it has been typified that Tuvalu has been trying to embarrass the Danish government over this issue. And I want to make it perfectly clear that that is not our intent at all. And I want to make it perfectly clear that we want to have a sincere consideration of this item. We know very well your sincerity and your dedication to coming to a meaningful outcome in Copenhagen. We know very well that you, yourself, had dedicated an enormous amount of time travelling the world, discussing with leaders to discuss this issue and come forward with an important conclusion to this item. We know that the Danes have a strong history of travelling the world. In fact, there are even people in Tuvalu who have Danish names. Unfortunately, you never made it to Tuvalu, though I think you tried. And I think if you made it to Tuvalu, you would have realised why we are so concerned about this issue. The entire population of Tuvalu lives below 2 metres above sea level. The highest point above sea level in the entire nation of Tuvalu is only 4 metres. Madam President, we are not naive to the circumstances and political considerations that are before us. It appears that we are waiting for some senators in the US Congress to conclude before we can consider this issue properly. It's an irony of the modern world that the fate of the world is being determined by some senators in the US Congress. We note that President Obama recently went to Norway to pick up a Nobel Prize, rightly or wrongly. But we can suggest that for him to honour this Nobel Prize, he should address the greatest threat to humanity that we have before us, climate change, and the greatest threat to security, climate change. So I make a strong plea that we give proper consideration to a conclusion at this meeting that leads to 2 legally binding agreements. Madam President, this is not just an issue of Tuvalu. Pacific Island countries, Kiribati, Marshall Islands, Maldives, in the Bahamas, Haiti, Bahamas, Grenada, Sao Tome and Principe in the West Africa, and all the LDCs, Bhutan, Laos, Mali, Uganda, Senegal, Timor-Leste, and millions of other people around this world are affected enormously by climate change. This is not just Tuvalu. Over the last few days, I've received calls from all over the world offering faith and hope that we can come to a meaningful conclusion on this issue. Madam President, this is not an ego trip. For me, I have refused to undertake media interviews because I don't think this is just an issue of an ego trip for me. I'm just merely a humble and insignificant employee of the Environment Department of the Government of Tuvalu. And as a humble servant of the Government of Tuvalu, I have to make a strong plea to you that we consider this matter properly. I don't want to cause embarrassment to you or the government, but I want to have this issue considered properly. I clearly want to have the leaders put before them an option for considering a legally binding agreement for them to sign on at this meeting. I make this as a strong and impassioned plea. We've had our proposal on the table for 6 months. 6 months. It's not the last 2 days of this meeting. I woke this morning and I was crying, and that's not easy for a grown man to admit. The fate of my country rests in your hands. Thank you.